New Orleans, there is a boil water advisory. Pumping has been restored and pressures are recovering, but residents are asked to continue to conserve water, and they're asking that you avoid using appliances such as dishwashers and washing machines. I'll throw in a little bit of something else too that you may not consider, but if you have an ice machine, that ice machine is hooked up to your water supply. Do not use those cubes. All right. Cut the ice machine off or throw those ice cubes out, especially if they just started. So, Sewage and Water Board is going to notify its residents when the precautionary boil water advisory has been canceled. Or if you know where there is a water leak, or if you see water running in the street, you are asked to call 504-52 Water. That's 504-529-2837. That's 504-529-2837. All right. That'll give you some insight, just to give you some local stuff. A lot of folks got a chance to see who's coming to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs. How much of those tickets? How much do you think the tickets will be for you to go to the Super Bowl? Jazz got the money. All y'all got to do is call 504-582-9422. Sweet talk him a little bit. Hey, man, we listen to you every single day. We love that stuff that you be telling Gerard because you put him in check and stuff. Just tell him, sweet talk him a little bit and be like, say, bro, by the way, you got any of them tickets? He'll probably say, yeah, what your name is?
This is gonna be one of them.
I didn't see you sitting there, bro.
This is gonna be one of them moments where they say, "Yeah, Jazz, we love how you be keeping Gerard in check." Don't tell them people call me with that bull. Y'all know
Jazz
good
got
guy.
tickets.
Well,
You got tickets?
no, I don't have tickets.
You ain't got no tickets?
No,
I thought you had tickets.
no, I don't have tickets.
Yes, you do. You know what? They not Super Bowl tickets.
I was about to say I got tickets to
They
the movie.
toilet bowl tickets. They the toilet bowl tickets. I forgot that's not the Super Bowl tickets. You got toilet bowl tickets. Mm-hmm.
I got tickets to Rainbow Lanes.
No, bro. Some people gonna call you up and say, "You do? Can I get a pair of them tickets too, there, bro? Throw those in extra.
Extra.
How much you think those tickets cost for the Super Bowl? The starting price.
Starting price probably in the thousands.
Yep. Give me a price.
I'd say way at the top.
Yep.
You probably talking about 1,500 is probably on the lodge level. So I'm gonna say way up top might be
All right, let's say for loads, because you're thinking about it. I see the smoke coming from your ears. So let's say loads down to the field.
lows down to the field 15 and up.
15
and up.
15,000. No.
I mean 100, 1,500 and up.
Going up.
From the Lodge? Okay, so if 15, okay, so then I'd say 15 is probably starting in the terrace. Then that would mean the Lodge would probably be 25 and
No.
up. No?
No, going up.
35?
Going up.
45.
40.
40?
4,000.
4,000.
Average price is $4,095 per ticket. And that's supposed to be the cheapest ticket available for the game.
4,000.
$4,095
is the cheapest.
the cheapest ticket.
So that's not even low. That's in the terrace.
That's nosebleed. You gotta take some tissue with you.
So if you talking about 4,000 for the load, you talking about probably 10 for the plaza.
10. No, probably 7 probably starting at 7. But if you want to be like 50-yard line, probably about 30, 40 grand. So I need you. And those folks.
But them people probably ain't even paying for that.
Huh?
Them people ain't paying for that.
They got a couple of folks that pay for it. You know, but I think it's more so if you're a sponsor.
Right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them people that
the sponsors for the Super Bowl.
They done gave they VIP.
Right. Somebody that got a commercial that's running during it, like Pepsi or something like that. They give away their tickets.
Right.
And running promotions and things of that sort.
Right.
So, but if you want to buy them tickets,
yeah,
it's probably about 40, 50 grand. Now, I'm going to hang with you. Because I know you'll be on the 50-yard line talking about, what's up? How's everybody? What's going on? Did I make you cuss? I made you cuss.
Because right now you're exposing me. See, now, now
what's
you make.
What's going on, everybody?
See, right now you want me to be like you, trying to walk and hide from people, and they're going to be like, hey, we see you.
Yeah. Bro, I'm glad you said that. I got a story to tell you.
We see you.
You ready for my story? So, over the weekend, you know, Miss Roberta like my mama.
Uh-huh.
And I tell anybody that it's like my mama. So, any chance that I get, and Miss Roberta's son, her biological son, I call myself a son, but her biological son, Keith, passed over the week. Last weekend, and his funeral service is going to be Saturday, but I don't want her sitting at home with nothing to do and letting all of that just, you know, resonate through her mind. So on Sundays, I know she's going to church Sunday morning, but after that, I'm gonna come get her, and I usually take her to go get Sunday brunch and stuff like that. So we went to go eat Sunday. And I'm like, we going to Kenner? She's like, yeah, we going to Kenner. So we went to Kenner. And I'm like, ain't nobody going to know me out here. Da, 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 da. I'm walking in the parking lot, bro, going to get the car to go pick her up. And I hear this lady says, because we walking out together. I say, hey, how y'all doing? They were like, fine, how you doing? It's 3 people, lady and 2 older gentlemen. And I can hear her. That's the radio. That's the radio man. And you know what she was doing? She was saying it loud enough
for you to hear.
For me to hear. So you got a choice.
Stop, turn around,
and say hello.
Or be
an asshole.
And keep walking.
And keep walking. I chose to turn around, of course. But yeah, that happened. And then when I got there, one of the gentlemen that was part of the he's part of the Mardi Gras Indians. He was in there. It was packed. And I could hear him over everybody. There goes Gerard Steve. And bro, what everybody do?
Stop and look.
Miss Roberta looked at me. She's like,
Ain't going nowhere with you.
Ain't going nowhere. So that was part of that.
That's how I felt like walking around with rope.
Rope Brown?
At the Smoothie King Center.
Really?
Man. You get stopped every 5 feet with that man.
Really?
Bruh.
I've been there with him.
Bruh.
Him. Let me see. I'm going to name a couple of folks like that. Him. Warren Riley. Now Susan Hudson's like that too. Everybody want to talk to her. So, and you know, that's my other job.
Right.
Stop. When we get ready to leave from somewhere to try to be on time to go to the next event or something like that, I be looking at my clock saying, I'm leaving 30 minutes prior to when we supposed to leave. Because I know it's going to take you 30 minutes to get to the front door. And every time be right. Because everybody want to come
Everybody want, yep.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. More in just a minute. We'll go over some of this news. We'll just start talking about these immigrants that are being deported. Oh, baby. Are y'all paying attention to it? The number of immigrants that are being deported. As a matter of fact, they're saying that maybe yesterday or Friday was the highest that they've seen in a while. Over 500 people gathered up and taken back to Mexico on a C-140 military plane. Uh-oh. How y'all feel about that? More coming up. Everybody hold tight.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
The unimaginable happened in our beloved city early New Year's morning. A terrorist attack on Bourbon Street, wreaking death and destruction. As we pray for the victims and the families touched by this horrific act of inhumanity, we are reminded by our health experts that all of us have suffered a measure of distress, be it ever so subtle. Like many of you, in the wake of this tragedy that tore through the heart of our city, I am still trying to cope with the feelings of anger, despair, shock, and confusion. I reached out to my friend Dr. Corey Hebert, medical editor for WWL-TV, who says the feelings that we are experiencing are natural following a traumatic event. Dr. Hebert says whether we admit it or not, no one is unaffected by what's happened. He referred me to the National Institute of Mental Health webpage, where you can find information about coping with traumatic events. Health experts define such events as scary, shocking, or dangerous experiences that can affect someone emotionally or physically, leaving us with a range of reactions: anxious, sad or angry, trouble concentrating and sleeping, continually thinking about what happened. Mental health experts say most people will recover as those reactions lessen over time. If not, they are encouraged to seek professional help. Health officials also recommend some practical things you can do for yourself. Avoiding the use of alcohol, spending time with relatives and friends who are supportive, engaging in exercise and mindfulness, or other activities that reduce stress. As we struggle to recover from this unspeakable tragedy, let's remember to be patient, kind, and compassionate with each other. We can reduce the stress and quicken trauma recovery with good behavior and gracious words. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
I'm Howard Robertson, founder and creator of the Play Ode app. Back in the day, we used to ask, how you living? And that's still a relevant question today. Listening to good stuff helps you live well, like what you hear on the Play Ode app. ODE stands for Our Digital Entertainment, so you enjoy the best radio stations playing the best classic R&B, hip-hop, gospel, smooth jazz, news, sports, and podcasts. And new sounds are coming at you in 2025, so don't wait or hesitate. Download PLAYODE today.
Hello, WBOK listening audience. This is Pastor Robert Tanner of the Community Church of River Ridge, Louisiana, inviting you to tune in to our Sunday morning broadcast at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning right here on WBOK 1230 AM. That's Community Church with Pastor Robert Tanner every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on WBOK 1230.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Hi, it's Dr. Shepard. I'm coming up next on The Reality Check on WBOK.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. Bless that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Bless that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
Welcome back. Mr. Harold. Mr. Harold? Did we lose him? We must have lost him. All right, coming back. 504-582-9422, the number to get in contact with us. Man, looks like we're going to have this conversation because I need to make sure that we are paying attention to it, because I really don't. Y'all know, usually when I say I don't think that we paying attention to it, I'm usually wrong. And y'all be like bringing the phones off the hook here. What are y'all thinking, too, about this gathering up of people, which they call immigrants, and putting them down in the camp and then forcing them to leave? The deportation issue. The deportation issue also involving the United States military. Now, at the same time, we really need to look around and say that our military is getting ready to go under some quote-unquote revamping as well. These executive orders that are being put in place by your president seem to have a lot of folks up in arms. They seem to have a lot of folks up in arms. And then another thing that I really want to bring up is the fact that, this world we live in is funny sometimes, and I'm going to bring this up. They are trying to get rid of anything that had anything to do with blacks in the military history, even trying to take the Tuskegee Airmen story out of publication with military books that have the Tuskegee Airmen in it. They want to take that out of publication as well. But yet, I don't hear the groups, not yet. Maybe I need to wait a minute. But, I'm like, strike while the fire is hot, while the iron is hot. I don't hear these groups yet making a whole bunch of noise about these issues. But yet, today, and God knows I want to do a comparison. I really do. I want this to be a comparison. And I know that I'm going to get it from both sides, because my Jewish community is not going to let me get away with it, and neither is my African American community going to let me get away with it with the comparison. But today is the Auschwitz Liberation Anniversary. It's the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. That's the concentration camp. And the theme that I have continuously heard from our Jewish community is never forget. Never let them forget. Never forget. Okay. Got you. But what about us? We got to get to that too. All right, we'll take the break here for news, and we'll come back, and we'll have that conversation. I know it's going to be pretty sticky. More coming up next, y'all. Everybody hold tight. News is next.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans. Home of the reality check. Weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The Israel-Lebanon ceasefire has been extended until February 18th. The initial agreement involved Israel withdrawing its army from southern Lebanon while the Lebanese armed forces deployed in the area. Federal health officials urge pet food companies to increase safeguards due to bird flu in raw pet food. The FDA advises sourcing from healthy flocks using heat treatment and recommends pet owners cook raw pet food. First Day Beauty is recalling over 2,700 jars of Ultra Repair Cream Coconut Vanilla due to a Class 2 FDA risk, which could cause temporary health effects. And Playboy magazine is resuming print issues with Lori Harvey announced as the first cover model. Playboy halted printing the magazine during the pandemic. The issue will be available on February 10th and is now available for pre-order. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers have the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. It is Monday. Monday. Boy, I was looking just to refresh myself with Auschwitz. Do you realize that it's been 80 years, I think, since the liberation? and I know that everybody's not up on what I'm talking about, but I needed to do this today. And I thought hard about it before I did because I knew that there was going to be some scrutiny that has come from maybe both sides. But I need to let everybody know that Auschwitz, just in case you don't know, was dedicated to history as one of the worst concentration camps in Germany. It was a complex of over 40 concentration and extermination camps operated by Nazi Germany and occupied Poland during World War II and the Holocaust. So when we talk about Nazi Germany, which occupied Poland during World War II and the Holocaust, it consisted of Auschwitz I, the main camp, Auschwitz II, concentration and extermination camp with gas chambers, a labor camp for the chemical conglomerate IG Farben, and dozens of subcamps. The subcamps became a major site of the Nazis' final solution to the Jewish question. So, what was this? What was Nazi Germany thinking about when you start saying, okay, why was he exterminating a race of people? And a lot of people today and professors today have talked about what Hitler was trying to do, and it was a racial cleansing. You hear a lot about cleansing these days, so this was supposed to be a racial cleansing that a lot of folks say they still today don't know what he was doing, And I'm like, okay. He was trying to get rid of Jewish people. Racial cleansing. And for the last 80 years, and a lot of these folks, the Jewish folks, then were imported from that area of Germany, and the United States took in a lot of those folks into the United States. Now, let me go back for a minute to Auschwitz. just to give you an idea, 1.3 million people were sent to Auschwitz. 1.1 million were murdered. The number of victims included 960,000 Jews, 865,000 of whom were gassed on arrival, 74,000 non-Jewish Poles, 21,000 Romani, 15,000 Soviet prisoners of war, and up to 15,000 others. Those not gassed were murdered via starvation, exhaustion, disease, individual executions or beatings. And then others were killed during medical experiments. Yeah, they did medical experiments as well. At least 802 prisoners tried to escape, 144 of them successfully. And on the 7th of October, 1944, 2 Sonderkommando units consisting of prisoners who operated the gas chambers launched an unsuccessful uprising. After the Holocaust ended, only 789 personnel, no more than 15%, ever stood trial. Several were executed, including camp commander Rudolf Höss. The Allies' failure to act on early reports of mass murder by bombing the camp or its railways remains controversial. Now, as the Soviet Red Army approached Auschwitz in January of 1945 toward the end of the war, the SS sent most of the camp's population west on a death march to camps inside Germany and Austria, okay? Those Soviet troops entered the camp on the 27th of January, 1945. That was a day commemorated since 2005, which is an International Holocaust Remembrance Day. In the decades after the war, survivors such as Primo Levi, Viktor Frankl, Elie Wiesel, and Edith Eger wrote memoirs of their experiences, and the camp became a dominant symbol of the Holocaust. And in 1947, Poland founded the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum on the site of Auschwitz I and II. And in 1979, it was named World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Auschwitz is the site of the largest mass murder in a single location in history. In history, okay? So now that you have just that little information, that's just a piece of it. What I will tell you is that I too remember in having these conversations about Auschwitz. I think it's horrific what happened to the Jewish people and all those other ethnicities that I named as I'm in my prior story, and what they went through. No one should ever have to remember that. No one. But I was thinking to myself as I was having this conversation that at no point in time in history have we ever heard any political party, any religious party, or anyone else say over and over and over again, let's forget about what happened to the Jewish people. And this year, as I see the documentaries, as I see the interviews, as I'm seeing the footage as it's being told, because it started early this morning. I don't know if you all realize it. That everybody is ending their story with, never forget. God knows I pray for those that lost family members, heritage. They lost their legacies. But I also pray for those older folks that went through it, that survived it. And they're all saying the same thing. We survived. We survived Auschwitz. Thank God you did. Thank God you did. But I also have to go back and do the comparison. And that's why I said, I know this is the part that's going to get sticky to a lot of people. And I'm not opposed to any of it. But I have to ask the question, where is the same type of sentiment, the same type of compassion, understanding, historians, those that talk about slavery, when it comes to black people? Oh, God knows, I'm glad that the Jewish folks are saying, don't ever forget what happened to us. And I can appreciate that. And evidently, those of us that are in control of media, social media, the narratives, continual support, the websites, and everything else, are allowing it to happen. No one should ever have to hear those horror stories of being put in. Oh yeah, they rounded up my whole family, and then when we got to the camp, they separated the boys from the girls, and I've never seen my sister ever again. That's some of the stories that we were hearing this morning. That they rounded up a whole family, and the family had 2 boys and 2 girls in it, the mom and the dad. The boys and the dad went one way when they got there, and the girls and the mom went another way, and they never saw each other ever again. Because the possibility of them being gassed, burned, killed was very high. And I'm hoping that everybody understand where my value is in this. And I don't think that I am anyway. And if somebody thinks that I am, oh yeah, you can. You can call me and tell me, gee, you're wrong for saying that. I'll take it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I feel another way. I don't. I'm mad that happened to the Jewish folks. That is horrific, not terrific, horrific. It is horrific. But I also don't want nobody to forget what happened to us. And I don't feel the same type of exposés, documentaries, interviews, all those things that are getting ready to happen are happening for black people. Somebody tell me I'm wrong, please. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. T-Bone.
Amen.
Happy New Year to you.
Well, you know what? Happy New Year to you and Jazz. Well, I call Jazz still on the sports report. I vowed that I wasn't gonna go political anymore because here's the thing. See what you just outlined. These things happened under a fascist regime. These things happened under a dictatorship. And see, the Democrats really did a piss poor way of illustrating just what we were voting for them and voting against. They really should have pointed to Auschwitz. They really should have pointed to World War II. They really should have reported to some of the atrocities that was linked to this historical period. See, they kept saying, oh, he's fascist, he's fascist, he's fascist. And most people that went out and voted for this guy did not understand what a fascist was. They didn't understand that they were speaking out against Antifa. See, Antifa was a group that wanted to fight against fascism. That's why they were called Antifa, anti-fascist. Here's something a little simpler for you all to understand. Donald Trump just outlined killing DEI. And you know what else was involved with that? Taken away in the histories of military books.
Yeah, blacks.
The existence of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yep.
He's outlined something that's going to kill the existence of a Colin Powell, of Crispus Attucks, of many other African Americans who contributed to the military history of this country. They got to take it completely out of their books, out of their training.
Yep.
Under orders of Donald J. Trump. Now, that might not mean that Hilla beans to you because you might not be in the military. You may not have had any relatives in the military. But guess what? You got a cousin, a nephew, a niece, somebody that wants to go into the military, and now they may be denied the ability to go in. Because one thing for sure, people like this, they talk about black folk doing it, but let me tell you something. When they get an inch, they take a mile. They take a mile. It's not going to stop here. See, everybody thought, oh, he's just going to get rid of the Mexicans. No. There's going to be Mexicans, Colombians, Haitians, Africans, anybody that's a deeper shade of soul in him. But y'all voted for this. I'm going to say it like that. Y'all voted for this. So I don't want to hear any crying about it. If we never learn from our history, we are destined to repeat it.
Yep.
Dr. Felix James used to say that at Southern University in New Orleans. This is what's going to happen.
And now we're
if
here.
These people aren't stopped, history will repeat itself.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what other way to explain that. I don't know any simpler way to explain it. I don't understand why you didn't see this in a world where we have the internet at our fingertips and all the information that there is.
I was watching the news this weekend. They had some cameras that were out there with the agents of ICE as they were rounding up some of our folks from Mexico and putting them, and they were crying, and the lady was walking up to the camera and she was like, "He didn't do anything, and I voted for Trump." I was like, "Yes, indeed."
Yeah, and it's going to continue to happen. I hope the Latino community pays very close attention. You know what else happened? The Latin part of the White House official website got took down the same day.
It reads Era 404.
You really think that he's like you? No, they're not like us.
Took it down.
He's not like us.
Told you that
and
on
you need
Friday.
to understand that.
Yep. And more coming. All right, Brandon.
And all this is in Project 2025 too.
Oh yeah,
all of it.
Well, I got 9 that he's already started. Nine events out of all those projects he's already started. So I'm gonna go with those 2. All right, my brother. Appreciate you, T-Bone.
All right, brother.
Talk to you later.
Keep fighting, man.
Yeah.
Keep fighting.
All right, more coming up. Miss Gail, hold on. I'm gonna come back to you in just a minute. More next.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on lead, a heavy metal that's dense, soft, and poses serious health risks. In Cancer Alley, lead exposure from industrial emissions or contaminated soil can significantly increase cancer risks and other health problems. Stay informed and protect your health. For more information, visit risestjames.org.
Do you know what United Way can do for you and your community? Find out by listening to United Way and You every Thursday at noon on WBOK 1230. United Way continues to fight for the most vulnerable members of the community. Find out how this Thursday and every Thursday at noon.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Hello, I am Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr., host of the Know Your Bible International radio broadcast, which is heard here on WBOK 1230 AM each Sunday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So join me here for a blessing, won't you?
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Miss Gail, thank you for holding. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine, Gerard. First of all, I would like to say thank you to you and Jazz for you all, being there for us and, educating us more on various things. And I'd like to say, too, we as people need to love ourselves more. And I live not too far from a City Trend store. And when I would visit that store, it had clothing and other things. And they had books about African Americans. Right. And so I would read through the books, and I loved the books. And Gerard, at that particular time when I went in that day, I didn't have a lot of money. So I asked the young lady, I asked her, I said, could I put books in the layaway? She said, yeah. So I put books in the layaway, and I went back the next week and got the books. What I'm saying is, no one should have to, whether they teach it in school or not, we should teach our children at home, with an aunt, with mother and father. This is what we should do. And I have so many books, and my grandchildren say, well, I have them all lined up in bins in my house. And I say, that's for you all. And I tell them about our people. And I told them about the first person to invent the doorbell camera was a black lady. And I tell them other things. And I always tell them, if anything happened to me, you all divide the books, split the books up. And so we should teach our children, the parents, it's their responsibility. You know, those other people, the Jews, they'll never forget the Holocaust, but we went through a lot of traumatizing things too, our ancestors. And we shouldn't forget that either. Not to say hate anyone, but we should know about our history. We should love each other. We should stick together. So, you know, that's what I don't like. I don't like, the schools are not teaching African American history. Well, teach it to your children yourselves, and you better get the books. I have books now. I told my husband, I said, I know sooner or later they were going to pull some fast things. They could do whatever they want. I have the authentic books about the Tuskegee Airmen. Also, the first person to perform open heart surgery was a black man. And I have so many. And Harriet Tubman, she is my hero and lady. I loved her from the time I was in school, when I was in elementary school, and I read about her. And it's many more. And my older children, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to wrap it up. My older children attend integrated school. Well, they attend the integrated school because that's where we live, nearby an integrated school. And I would keep my kids home on Dr. Martin Luther King birthday, and they would call me and ask me, well, why are your kids not in school? I said, it's Dr. Martin Luther King birthday. And they said, okay. And so I was celebrating it before they even legalized it. And I would make my daughter sit down there and watch when they would show on TV how all people was attacked by dogs and hoes, hose, H-O-S-E, you know, sprinkling the hose on them and everything. And I taught my kids, you know, so I think we need to get to that. The parents, the grandparents, uncles, fathers, and everyone should teach their children, because I know I listened to my grandparents, the things that they taught me.
I got you. Miss Gail, thank you, dear. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right.
And I love you all, and continue doing what you all do.
Thank you, dear. All right, let me give you something too. I'm going to go back for a minute when we were talking to T-Bone. When we were talking about going through some of the stuff in the history books and some of the things that have happened and what's getting ready to happen with the military. If they want to remove the Tuskegee Airmen, which was, I thought, one of the most positive stories about not just about black pilots, that proved to any other race that we too could fly planes and do such a great job. But we didn't talk about, and I guess this will come to at some point in time, the United States colored troops, the Buffalo Soldiers, the 370th, the Black Devils. These regiments were raised during the Civil War in states like Louisiana, just like us, South Carolina, Kansas, the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. They stormed Fort Wagner in South Carolina in 1863. The 8th, 9th, 11th, and 13th Louisiana Infantry Regiments fought at the Battle of Milliken's Bend in 1863. The Buffalo Soldiers, formed in 1866 by Congress to serve on the American frontier, not the African American frontier, but the American frontier. The 9th and the 10th U.S. Cavalry, the first black regiments in peacetime. The 24th and 25th U.S. Infantry. 1869, merging 4 regiments of infantry. The regiments named the Buffalo Soldiers by Native American tribes who fought against them. The 370th Black Devils. This all-black National Guard unit was originally organized in 1895 as the 9th Battalion Infantry. The unit served in the Spanish-American War and on Mexican border in 1916. And during the war, that was World War I, the unit was redesignated as the 370th Infantry Regiment. And I don't know if y'all got a chance to see Tyler Perry's movie of the ladies that were in the military that took on taking millions of pieces of mail and making sure that those men and women got it. Man. Kerry Washington did that thing, didn't she? What was that? The triple 668 or 888? Am I saying it wrong? I think it's a 668. What you say, Pop?
Hey, G-Man, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
You know I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I just try to ask the hard questions. I know they got some people that's much more knowledgeable than I am about Adolf Hitler, but I know a little something about him. He, first of all, he fooled the people for many years before he came on them like that. First of all, he let you know that he was for the white people, Aryan, the whites, and he was against homosexuals. He didn't hide that.
He was for Germans.
But he made believe that he was for the people. And anybody that know the history of Adolf Hitler had, see like these people voting for certain of these people? Adolf Hitler had the children trained. If they were turned against him, they would report them to the I don't know, I forget what you call those people. They were the Nazis. They worked. I can't remember the name of it right offhand, but they would tell on their parents, and before you know it, the parents would be arrested. The children was watching the parents. No one thought that someone would show up as ruthless as this man, Adolf Hitler. But here, you got somebody that did not, I don't understand. I'm baffled. Maybe you could, that this man told you what he was going to do to you. And he's showing you. He said day one, and every day since he's been in office. You see what he been doing, G-Man?
Mm-hmm.
He don't want nobody in office. You got to be a complete dummy and do just what he say. He don't care nothing about the country. Don't care if you not have no knowledge of the job at all. As long as you follow his instructions and the people that done bought him out. That's his only concern. And the very people, some of the very people that voted for him, he trying to destroy them.
Well, I'll throw something else in here, Pop. One of the things that's controversial right now is the fact that they saw, I don't know if you saw this clip or not, but Elon Musk, who's standing at the microphone thanking the whole world for voting for Donald Trump. And as he's doing it, he gave a salute. And that salute to those people seemed to be controversial to where he was almost doing the Heil Hitler sign. But he made it sound like he was throwing his heart.
No, he wasn't throwing no heart. His hand didn't even cup.
And Dr. Shepard is joining us in
hey,
studio.
Everybody. Hey, everyone.
So yeah, that's been controversial
but
for the past couple of weeks.
He is trying to destroy the military and everything. He's, I mean, you talk about Adolf. If anybody, I'm sure Dr. Shepard know the history of Adolf Hitler.
And if you would compare this man to Adolf Hitler, just my opinion, he looked like he was.
Well, you got to go back to what Trump said in an earlier campaign forum. He said that, as he has studied a lot about Adolf Hitler, he said he wasn't that bad of a person.
Oh,
remember that?
I do. I remember that. I also recall, I believe his maid said that he had a copy of Mein Kampf on his nightstand.
Right.
Okay, so, I mean, we see what he supports, and you see what Elon Musk supports. He's a South African, first of all.
Which believed in apartheid.
He supports the Boers and any representation of them. Okay, the white movement who are settlers who colonized Africa or South Africa. Okay, he's buddies with Musk, and that's Musk's position. He also, it seems, has gotten some of his money from South African apartheid as well. And I just don't think that people truly understand the ways that Nazi Germany, or the scientists from Nazi Germany and the policies that informed them, came from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so those kinds of things can't be abstracted. And also, when the Nazis fell in Germany, their scientists came to the United States and to South Africa. So what we're actually looking at is a full circle moment. It's that the way that people are taught history is to keep these things segmented and not understand the ways that Americanism is very influential to Nazi Germany. Hitler was writing fan letters to our scientists, saying that he admired the way that they controlled Negroes and that he wanted to implement some of the tactics there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that we need true education about the ways that white supremacist networks are connected all over the planet, and even the ways that you're taught history is wrong. We're taught that at the end of World War II, because people saw what happened to the Jews in the Holocaust, that then Nazism was ejected and stopped forever, as opposed to the fact that it went underground and that the scientists who were working on those agendas wound up being placed in different areas throughout the nations under the protection of the CIA and the United States, that we help people to obscure their beginnings, or the fact that they had these projects that were rooted in Nazism, that were first rooted in Americanism. So I think that if we connect it all together, then you would be able to see, the fact that we're just looking at a modern day facet of something, that this is not new, and that these things are not segmented. They're all actually connected. And thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Pop, we got to take some more of these calls.
Yes, I'd like to hear some more about why I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to some of it. Can't get to all of it, but we're going to get to some of it.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
All righty.
All right. Stay cool.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on with you? Sounding strong there, brother.
Yeah, my voice sounds strong, but my body kind of weak, bro. I'm still standing vertical.
You still
but then
standing?
That sister that just went off, very knowledgeable, bro. She have
right
her
here.
hand
This is
on the
Dr.
pulse of the world, brother.
Yeah.
You know, she's talking. Let me just say this about that whole thing. I forgot when I was living in California, they had a ceremony for the brothers and black GIs who had fought in World War II, and they was the ones that liberated the concentration camp, bro. They was the leading element. Let me tell you something, bro, what people don't know. This brother and his comrade was there. I met him in the face with. I got pictures of him, bro, and somebody got him in my one of my binders full of thousands in the image of Black America, brother. Anyway, they fought up these brothers. I think they call them. I think the Fighting 69. I'm not sure, but if you Google it, you can find out. They was the leading element that left. They launched from North Africa, and went into the boot, the heel of I think the land. I'm trying to think of that little city on the coast of Italy, right? And they fought up the peninsula. They was the first one to get into to liberate Rome, bro. They fought up that peninsula, killing Germans all the way. Then they went into then they fought all the way across the European continent, bro. And they were the first one to get into pushing the Germans towards Soviets, and Soviets want to get at them, right? So they were pushing them German soldiers, and when I say pushing, I'm talking about killing them on the way, killing them as they go, rolling over them and stuff. I know they had it was a tank battalion, the 710 or something tank battalion. That was their brother's unit, man, and they were like some fighting fools, brother, and they fought and forced the Germans to retreat, and the German and the Russian got them on the other side and slaughtered them, brother.
Yeah.
Thousands of bodies. In fact, you Google some of that footage, you'll see all them dead bodies laying down on some of them highways and roads, bro. Some people might don't want to see that, but if you be a historian, going on and Google it, look for them units and stuff, and you're gonna see all them dead bodies laying all kind of ways, blown up, shot up on the highway, on the road, off the road, in the ditch, whatever. So I'm out, man. But yeah, I'll be listening to you, brother.
All right.
Like y'all say,
We've been trying.
I'll be checking there and be okay. I wake up and it'll be okay. First thing I hit is that button. This is what y'all talking about, and I hear everybody. I hear Grail and there, all of them.
All right.
I hear Kim, all of them. All y'all. Hey, man, y'all some bright folks, bro. Y'all some bright folks. It stimulate my mind. Keep me want to stick around and hang in there.
There you go.
Take care, bro.
All right,
I'm in the
Sekou.
wind. Take care. Be strong.
All right, you too, brother.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's a smart man right there as well.
Sekou lived a lot of this stuff.
Mhm.
He ain't saying something that he just learned. Sekou lived one of the original Black Panthers, and got a. I'm telling Sekou, I'm telling your business.
Right, tell it all.
Sekou has documented time. One of the best photographers that you could possibly know, and he has Sekou. We taking pictures with cell phones. Sekou is a photographer.
Right.
You would see Sekou, and I'm going back in my history. You would see Sekou on his bike. He used to ride a bike everywhere, and would have his camera with him, taking photos. And a lot of those photos that Sekou took, you had to have them developed, and a lot of them black and white. A lot of them black and white photos. So.
Well, I like the history that he just called in, and I think it dovetails into when you were talking about them leaving the Tuskegee Airmen story out of the training for the military. And I just think that it's so weird that we're looking at all of that is fit underneath, I guess, the way that they're proposing it is all under diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, right.
But the idea is that it's supposed to go into meritocracy. So if we're talking about the information that needs to be in the military based on merit, the Tuskegee Airmen still need to be inside of the history of the military, just based on merit.
Based on merit.
Right? Because that is the actual history. So it's not about diversity, equity, inclusion. It's just like wherever that black stuff is, like, right, we don't have to do that no more.
Take it out.
And I've heard people also saying that in some ways, companies are almost being forced to comply because if they don't, then it might be seen some of their governmental protections or whatever, and they could be subjected to lawsuits because they haven't made the recent changes. However, I appreciate places like Costco. Costco decided that they weren't going to shift away from DEI, and they released a statement about it. So I think that there's a lot of information there. We shouldn't be the ability to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion then becomes some type of free-for-all. That then means that we're going to wind up returning back to the mainstream all-white narratives, right? But it's not. If we're talking about meritocracy, that information still should have to be in there.
All right, let's go back to something, and I want everybody to understand too this. And time coming here, one of the things I want everybody to understand something, and that is what he's doing right now. In my opinion, is more shock and awe. Shock and awe, meaning that I'm going to do this. I know it's not going to work. I know we're going to end up in court somewhere. A lot of this stuff ain't going to work. But if you go through Project 2025 and the list of things that have come out of Project 2025, raising prescription drug prices, end civil rights and DEI protections in government, that's one on the list. Ban African-American gender studies in all levels of education, that's been on the list. And climate protections, that's on the list. Increase Arctic drilling. All you hear them talking about now is drill, baby, drill.
Right.
Deregulate big business and the oil industry. Drill, baby, drill. Promote and expedite capital punishment. We're going to see that.
Which is why Biden pardoned all of those people.
Yeah. And he can't get it changed.
Mm-hmm.
Mass deportation of immigrants and incarceration in camps. Already done started. And birthright citizenship.
That is unconstitutional.
Being challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminates federal agencies like the FDA, EPA, NOAA, and I would even say FEMA. Throw FEMA in there. So he's trying to get that taken care of.
Why you say throw FEMA in there?
Because he's trying to get rid of it now.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to get rid of FEMA.
Okay, keep going. Is that the end of the list, or is there more?
That's about 9. So we got other stuff that, elimination of the unions and worker protections, that's coming. Cut Social Security, that's coming. Medicaid, that's coming. The Affordable Care Act, that's coming. All those things, they're coming. And what was really getting me this weekend was the fact that you had somebody on, they had cameras following those ICE agents as they were picking up immigrants this weekend. All of them Mexican, Latino, whichever one you want to call. They were picking them up this weekend. And the lady was crying, he didn't do anything. Please leave him alone. Da, da, da. She was losing it.
Right.
And she said, I voted for Trump. And I said, that's what you get.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm. Dumb.
Mm-hmm. Because he's doing what he said he would do.
Yeah.
And also what Project 2025 said that he should do.
Yep.
But I want to go back because you said shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of this space. And I'm still kind of like thinking through some areas of my research because I think that settler colonialism is a disaster. And so one of the things that pieces or like theories that help me to think through this is that Naomi Klein wrote a book called The Shock Doctrine. Mm-hmm. And the Shock Doctrine says that whenever there is a shocking emergency, something that happens that is a cataclysm, that what the conservatives do is that they move in and they attempt in the middle of everybody being shocked to restructure society. Mm-hmm. And what they're trying to do in their restructure is they want to take everything that was in the public sector and make it all privatized. So it's extreme neoliberalism, extreme privatization, and that's the reason why they have to disassemble different areas of the government because they, one, don't want those regulations, but two, they want to be able to bring it all into the private sector. And so I think that when you say shock and awe, I'm thinking, well, this is classic, after Katrina protocol. This is the classic after whenever you see a massive emergency and then they come in and they make charter schools out of our public schools right? So this
I'm
is
gonna give you the alternative that's gonna make it better.
And I've heard people say that they've
been
running.
But I'm also gonna figure out a way that how we gonna make some money.
No, the first part is first. I'm going to find out how we going to make some money, and we might make things better, but we might not. Because think about the fact we have charter schools, and we're facing a crisis with our children not being functionally literate. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they don't necessarily have to make things better. Everybody just has to get paid. So with that thinking, and I've also heard they're running the same playbook since Reagan, and this is like Reaganomics. They're just putting more modern phases, modern wording. Maybe it's more modern because we saw Elon Musk doing Hail Hitler. So maybe it's not that modern, okay? Or maybe that is modernity. But anyway, we just get a chance to see them start to shift into, why you laughing, G? We get a chance to see them shift the same playbook that they've been doing. And now they're at the foot of power. They have the president, the House, and the Senate. Mm-hmm. And so now they're going to be able to get through everything that they wanted. And I do think that we have to talk more about the reason why that took place.
Well, think about something for a minute. I mean, those that don't make it, that you haven't heard Trump say one thing about his nominees not being confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, we won.
Mm-hmm.
We won. I don't care about all the senators or congressmen in there that didn't vote for him. The biggest deal, and I think what he said was, we got to win. So what? I don't care about those that didn't vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to win. Same thing just happened with his defense minister. He wanted the guy to be in charge of the Defense Department.
Right.
They won. Guess who broke the tie?
Mm.
The vice president.
Mm.
It was 50-50 on each side, Republican, Democrat, and they had the vice president to come in and be the tiebreaker. Now, this is somebody that you said was a womanizer, had a drinking problem.
His mama said he wasn't fit for service.
Right. And he messed up several different nonprofit organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to do the break. Let's do the break. We'll do the break here. Ty, I'm sorry. We had to get this in for a minute. Coming back and talk Ty next, right here on WBOK.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Movie Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South right here on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
The National World War II Museum, located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans. The National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe, 60 Minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
Welcome to Liberty Bank and Trust, where your financial journey transforms communities. Since 1972, our customized banking solutions power your dreams and fuel your community growth. Every dollar you invest with us circles back to empower more people, ensuring opportunities for generations. Join us at Liberty Bank. Together, we empower possibility. Visit libertybank.net to start banking with purpose. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
All right, folks, welcome back. A few minutes here before we get into news. Dr. Shepard's in the building with us. Let's go to Ty real quick. Ty, I'm sorry we made you whole. How you doing? Ty? I guess Ty said, don't be sorry because I hung up.
You know Ty ain't playing with you.
I ain't playing at all. I ain't hanging in there. Y'all can talk all that mess all you want to. Click. Mm-mm. But you had something too, didn't you?
Well, I was going to say that we can't overstate or overlook the fact that he's been able to do all of this by executive order.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we really have to examine even that. Well, and I said this the first time that he got in. Why is it that when we have these Democratic presidents, they don't use the executive order to this extent? to completely eradicate or
So he's
reshape
done
the
how many?
landscape of America
56 or 26? 26.
so
26
far.
So far.
Right. But I don't mean how many. I really mean the impact or the reach to the point where some of his executive orders are unconstitutional. And they have to wind up going through the appropriate protocols to be able to actually pass them. Why is it that we don't see our democratic we act as though everything has to wind up going through the proper chain of command and X, Y, and Z. But here he can just sign it and then wind up getting whatever it is that he wants taking place. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that we don't fully stress the power of executive orders. And I also kind of think that this goes into some kind of myths that it is that we have around democracy. The fact when Obama was in office, we acted like he had to have the House and the Senate and everybody had to be on the same page to pass legislation, as opposed to he could have just sat up there with the executive order. We could have got reparations, executive order. We could have got executive order, whatever it is that you wanted, as opposed to thinking, oh, everything has to go up between the how what through Congress.
You see how she's looking at me, right?
Yeah, because I mean,
but you see how she's looking at me.
Because it looked like you was about to laugh and say something. Or like there's something that you don't want to say that you trying to figure out how to say it.
I've been trying to hold it. That's why I was looking at you. I was trying to hold it. Should I say it?
Say it.
It's probably better you say what you was going to say. Than
Is it because
no,
he's black?
You say what you say. You're going to over. Trust me, it was not.
Because honestly, and I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people going to get highly upset with me. The Democrats are wimps.
No, I wasn't gonna say that, but mine works.
Yeah, I know that you wasn't gonna say that.
They don't know how.
They wimpy. They don't
Yours
like.
is worse.
They
Yeah,
don't
mine
like.
worse.
They don't like pushing back. They don't like taking on the attitude. Look, I'm here. The people put me here, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And Donald Trump and the Republicans don't have a problem at all with laying it on the line, putting it on the table.
I'm glad that you blanked that out.
But that's kind
big hairy ones. They have no problem with laying the hairy ones out.
You want me to say what?
Is it he bleeped himself out, G?
No,
so
I ain't bleeping.
You gotta bleep.
I'm Trump, bitch. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do. I got the House. I got the Senate that's gonna back me up. We done talked about everybody. I got all these folks that support me. I got over half the country supporting me. I got the folks from another country that I'm getting ready to deport supporting me too. The man said I could go to the middle of Times Square, shoot somebody, and I still have the same support. Tell me somebody else.
And he also said that he would run as a Republican
because the other folks is dumb.
They'll believe anything that he said.
Right, I agree. What I'm trying to say is that's how we gotta flex. That's when we have the ability to. We act as though he couldn't do. How could Obama do that? He had to come to the table of diplomacy. It's like you don't have to do that.
And
he could have signed executive orders for everything.
And he couldn't be our president. He absolutely could have been our president
with executive order. He could have.
He'd have got shot, but he could have did it.
You didn't already assassinated the man.
I know. If he would have did it, he would have been assassinated.
But they done tried to assassinate him twice.
Because wasn't reparations by executive order before? And then it was like special order number 15. And then it was executive order by Abraham Lincoln. And then when he was killed and the next president came in, they did an executive order to undo the executive order.
No, you think they killed him?
Right. I'm saying heard that. But what I'm saying is let's not act like everything has to be diplomatic.
Hold on.
I mean,
reparations?
Is
you said executive order?
Has diplomacy ever been has it ever been diplomatic?
You said
like
executive
truly
order
diplomatic?
To get healthcare?
Right.
I mean,
all that time on Obamacare, man, just sign the executive order.
What? All right. News is next, y'all.
Have you heard the secret of what New Orleans is talking about? I promise everything
12:30 a.m. New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Tyreek Wynn with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The U.S. Air Force is resuming teaching its recruits about the Tuskegee Airmen after President Trump's new DEI order. The Tuskegee Airmen were the 15,000 black pilots and service members of the segregated army who fought in World War II. President Trump and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass are clashing about rebuilding fire-ravaged Pacific Palisades. Trump said Bass needs to use her executive powers to allow property owners to clear off their lots faster. Rutgers University is drawing criticism after it canceled a conference on diversity, equity, and inclusion that had been scheduled to take place this Thursday. Spirit Airlines is implementing rules for passengers regarding offensive tattoos or sheer clothing. Spirit says passengers will not be allowed to board or be asked to leave if they have body art that is lewd, obscene, or offensive in nature. I'm Tyreek Wynn on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers have the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Monday, and in the building, y'all, having some conversation with us. The one, the only, Dr. Shepard.
Hello, hello.
So you think that this would have just been like, sign an executive order and let's move forward?
Yeah.
Have some big hairy ones and put them on the table.
Just do it. And allow people to be outraged. See, they, like I said, the Republicans or the conservatives are going with a age-old playbook, seemingly, or at least from the 80s. Okay, but then also they know how to take a moment, seize it, so that when people are shocked, you change everything. See, we didn't do that. We thought people are shocked. Let's allow it to die down and then let him assume the role of presidency, right? And then let him negotiate and all of this other stuff, as opposed to, no, while people are shocked and surprised that it's going on, you change everything and you come down with everything that you want, put it into place, and now they got to deal with it.
And then we can deal with the courts.
And we can deal with whatever, so that they'll keep, even for the things that are unconstitutional, they'll keep you in court for about 2 years before it comes out that, no, they can't really do that. So that at least that they get 2 years off of that. And while you focused on that thing, they over here changing something else.
That's why I can't change. That's why I couldn't run for office. We've been and changed everything.
I thought you said you couldn't because they about to come out with your dirty secrets.
No, that too. Yeah, they would. But I'm thinking to myself, I was like, I just be done changed everything. They'd be like,
yeah,
who your running mate? That should go right there.
I was gonna say, I'd be your vice.
Then the next thing I know, they'd be like, what's she doing? She the president. Why? Because they got him. They got him. They sure did. What you say, Terry?
Hey, Gerard and Dr. Shepard, how y'all doing?
We're doing all right. How you?
All right. Two things real quick. America is just, it's what's the word, Malcolm, next you? I can't say it. I'm trying to think of it.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Hypocrisy.
Okay.
And you have a president who is the president of a nation. He's convicted on 34 counts?
Mm-hmm.
Convicted felon as the president, and he also, pardoned the rioters who attacked the Capitol. I mean, I don't think a black man or a black woman would have ever been able to pull that off.
and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say. It's hypocrisy.
I agree. I also think that they were kind of like setting that up for ever since it happened, since January 6th actually took place. They were trying to find ways to reframe it. And even them being able to call the people patriots and, you know, having the idea that they're just fighting for their country, kind of like going off of what Jazz said, calling the Democrats wimps. I think that they didn't know how to seize the moment and to really transform it into something that worked for them. They didn't know how to create a thing around treason that lasts. And the job has been so inept that it makes you think that maybe it's just not that they're bad at it. Maybe they're intentionally fumbling the ball or something.
Wait.
Intentionally fumbling the ball?
They fumbling something.
I like that.
But no,
I like that.
No.
Left wing, right wing, same bird.
Right, same bird.
Same bird.
I disagree.
Same bird.
But I disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree.
Why?
I think they fumbling the ball. But,
yes.
But we really need to know what balls they fumbling.
Whose ball? Oh.
Whose balls
are they fumbling?
Are they fumbling?
And let's be
because I'm sick of leadership that's supposed to be straight to the point, bam, 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 making the hard decisions, and they sitting on TV talking about some, well, I don't know. Come on. Give me some balls, but not the ones that you fumbling.
Right.
See, and well, here's the thing. I think some of them are fumbles, and some of them just put on the ground.
I really think that a lot of this in this last episode of what I saw, and Terry, you can comment on this one too. I saw too much trying to raise money. Because I don't know about y'all, but I was getting text messages 2 and 3 times a day saying, can you give $5? Can you just give $5? Can you give $10? And then kept hearing all of these historic numbers that the Democratic Party was getting. But I'm saying to myself, if you that historic in the amount of money that you're raising, y'all should be doing some definite stuff that not only giving the shock and awe with the commercials, but what are y'all really doing to get Vice President Harris some real tangible stuff? What are you doing to say, what is it that the people looking for? What's your polls saying?
Right.
What's your who's your person out here to go out with the African American population that's going to be her core? The Democrats never have been in a position to me to say that the Democrats core are African Americans and they should be first. They have never been first.
Well, first of all,
when the Democrats get into a situation, they come to us last to pull their ass out of a jam. Same thing happened with Obama. Same thing happened when Obama was trying to do this and trying to say, okay, we need y'all to help us get the auto industry out. We need the Democrats. And the persons with the Democrats was us. They was all over black radio. Call your senator. Call your congressman. Let them know that you support this and da-da-da. Why aren't you talking to us first? It's just like that old additive to me that says black folks don't drive Cadillacs.
But this is
every
the fact
black
that
person I know drive a Cadillac or put one. That was your baby. You put that baby underneath the carport. We ain't had garages back then. We had carports.
That's true. This is true.
But go ahead.
Last but not, go ahead, Dr. Chubb.
Well, I was just going to say that I think, one, what you said about money is the thing. But also the candidate who has the most money, they've shown historically, that's the person who wins. Mm-hmm. So, but I do think that the Democrats had all kind of problems. I feel like we're going backwards in the way that we're thinking about it because we talked about all of the problems that the Democrats had. They didn't know how to connect to just common issues that people had. They didn't know how to connect to people who, were struggling at the grocery store. And it felt like they had a lot of empty last-minute promises that came like a week or two before it was time to vote, and they hadn't connected with poor white people. And I don't think that they gave them anything more attractive than racism. Like, racism is very attractive for poor white people. Yep. So they didn't give them anything more attractive than Trump's racism, and so they went with it. And so they have all kinds of problems at different levels. The fact that they went so hard between behind, just making minor issues seem like major issues, and not knowing how to appeal to major issues made them lose. And additionally, not giving poor whites something more than what a racist could give them, which is at least ego and pride. And so I think that that's been part of the problem, but I also think they don't know how to seize the moment. And
At all.
the things that you're complaining about, G, that's the reason why some people say, well, we should either be Republican or we should be in the third party, and make them come to you because they need you anyway. Now, I don't know if that's a good strategy, but I'm just saying.
I got the solution. I had the solution for the past couple of months. It just takes a little bit of funding.
Terry, you done though? I don't want to keep you on.
No,
I'm sorry, Terry.
Gerard, this is the last thing I got, Dr. Show. I'm gonna hang up and listen. Do y'all think that if the Black Lives Matter movement, when they was protesting against George Floyd, if they had stormed the Capitol, you think President Biden would have pardoned them?
No, they would have bombed the Capitol.
Well,
but
first of all, we'd still be trying to get the blood off the steps.
Look, right, January 6th was an inside job, okay? January 6th was an inside job. If it was Black Lives Matter, it wouldn't have been an inside job, and they would have bombed
terrorism.
that Capitol. It would have been terrorism.
Yep. It'll be terrorism.
They would have bombed.
That's all I got.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I got the solution for this,
Go
though.
ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I mean,
It take a little funding, but yeah.
Uh-oh.
Third party, USC.
There you
United
go.
Streets of America.
There you
The
go again.
United Streets of America,
I'm
USC.
serious. I'm
know.
serious.
I know you weren't serious the last time you said that, and I just looked at you the same way. Jazz. Okay.
I mean, it don't.
But
have,
if the Democrats are so inept, we might need a good third
I
party.
didn't say we didn't need it.
It
I
don't
didn't
have to
say
be
we
me.
didn't need it. I didn't say we didn't
I'd
need
rather
it.
be the kingmaker than the king anyway.
He could be the
I'm
organizer.
with you on that, bro. I just need you to understand something. The amount of money that it would take to put a third party together, you would have both of those parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, putting 2 and 3 times as much money in it to shut it down.
I know.
That's the same thing that has always happened. Look at all the other parties
I
that
agree.
came up.
I
Even when
agree.
they were mad with not the Democrats, with the Republicans, and then they came out with this so-called party, and that never was a party, but they kept saying, I'm a part of what was the name of that party? Well,
Are you talking about Kanye's party, the birthday party?
No.
Tea Party.
The Tea Party.
The Tea Party.
I'm part of the Tea Party. I'm part of the Tea Party was never a party.
Right.
Never was.
Right.
But they were using it like it was.
Right.
And people were saying, well, where's the register? It's not a party.
Right.
You cannot vote under a Tea Party.
Well, can we talk about more unregistered, powerful people? Because there's AIPAC, there's PACs
Yes,
that
plenty
get
PACs.
together, and then just on either side, their interests are protected. And I think in some ways, that might be more of the way that you have to move, is that you have to have all grounds covered, because trying to pin one party against the other, and right now the Democrats have just shown that they're so inept, and this isn't me making it sound like, oh, the Democrats should be X, Y, or Z, but they've shown that they're so inept that the fact that they could make you lose so much, the fact that leadership could be disappeared inside of these key critical moments. I was telling G on the break, I went to the Democratic Party's website because I was looking to see, well, what have they put together a plan for how they're going to attack this, or what it is that people should look out for. And the first thing that popped up before the main screen of the website was a pop-up for fundraising. And it said, help us to fundraise so that we could combat Donald Trump and his administration with policy. And then the question would be, well, how are you going to get policy if you don't control Congress and you don't have anyone putting in executive orders? So it seems as though they don't have any way to throw around their weight, and they have no plan in the middle of a rise in white nationalism. And I really liked how the caller who called in when I first came in was talking about fascism, because I think that really gets more to the heart of what it is. We're in a rise of white fascism, and they don't have any solution toward it. So now we can become more creative with the ways that we think that we would solve an issue like that, rather than just thinking that the Democratic Party should do it because they're proven that they can't, or they don't, or they won't. I'm making you shake your head, so I must have said something. I see you processing it.
No. No.
No. I see Jazz processing it.
I'm trying to figure out how to get some donations from him.
I'm
for the USA.
I'm gonna get you some cookies. I'm still
don't start because I'm still waiting on my cheesecake.
I'm still thinking the same way. I have not changed. I have not changed what I'm saying. I cannot be in a group of folks that can't lead me out of a wet paper bag.
Right.
Before I put my money, my time, my soul, and any of my friends and family in harm's way, I need to know that there's an out. And you just answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even see an out.
No, because they don't. At least.
I'm not trying to invent a way to get out.
At least they're woefully unprepared, and in the unpreparedness, they don't have a solution. The thing that they raised isn't even a solution. So, how can you get policy and you don't control Congress or the presidency?
Right. So what's the out?
I
need to see that out before I say, okay, cool. Where am I headed? Give me some time. I need to see what the GPS is telling me where I'm going.
I think that we need to do more independent nation building. And I feel like that is going towards some of the very powerful age-old policies that Black people have come up with before. But what we're basically learning is that, no, you can't depend on the government at all to protect you. This is the same lesson that we learned when they pulled out the federal troops from the South after the Civil War and the Confederacy gained back power. We're in the same exact type of movement. So no, the federal government can't protect you. So you have to do more localized nation building and wealth sharing with each other in order to be able to survive the next few years.
So one of the things I'm going to do, Dr. Shepard, if I'm in that position and I'm saying, let's make sure that we're setting ourselves up to be successful.
Right.
I'm going to come up with a program immediately that's going to get rid of any people, because to have movements, to make sure that you're doing what you need to do, you got to have money. So what am I going to do? First thing I'm going to come up with is I want to remove all DEI employees from the federal government. Who are the DEI employees?
Us.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we realize just how many Black folks have federal government jobs. Federal government jobs aren't that you're sitting at the national this. Federal government jobs is hell. You work at the post office.
Right.
You got hired at the post office. You got a career at the post office. It's a federal job. Guess what? Were you hired there because of your experience and you have that experience, or were you hired there because it was a DEI job? We don't know. But how many of those folks that I hear, at least 295 of them to start, were released and sent home that day and saying, oh yeah, and by the way, you're going to get fired next week. How many of those folks are now scared that I work in a federal job that I've been putting all my life, all my money, all my retirement, all that in, and I'm getting ready to get released because I was hired because of diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I hear that, but what I'm saying is that's the problem. Solution wise would be, how do we I really mean nation building.
Did you hear any of these folks say take them to court?
They should, because like I said,
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
They should.
Them three words right there get you in trouble every single time.
But understand what I said. That is part of the tactic. Part of the tactic is then take me to court. We're dealing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wouldn't pay people because he would say, take me to court, and I can outlast you in court and not pay you. He's infamous for that, or if he's famous for it. So with that being said, that's part of the that is also part of the problem. Even if you have to take them to court to get the lawsuit, that is the way that they want it to work. But what we have to do as a Black nation of people is you have to have the ability to absorb 250 people in and give them those jobs. Do you really support what it was that they were doing? Could you support them as a nation? How do you absorb and create 250 more jobs so that Black companies still need diversity, equity, and inclusion? The problem is that most Black businesses are solo businesses, or they can only hire one other person, so that we don't have the ability.
We're not talking about corporations,
right? We don't have many Black corporations, and so I feel like that is part of the issue. When I was in my way coming over here, and I was leaving out the car, walking in, I thought, you know what this feels like? This feels like typical Du Bois versus Booker T. Washington philosophies, because, and not to put them as though they're diametrically opposed to each other, but Du Bois was more into civil rights, being able to integrate into, and maybe integrate is a soft word for it, but being able to fight for your civil rights, right? Whereas Booker T was more into, how do we make it so that in terms of economics, we're strong, and whatever it is that they need, we corner our market to where we can feed ourselves. And if they need something, they got to come to us to get it. And that's how you gain a foothold, so that it's not about whether or not they give you the diversity, equity, and inclusion jobs. It's about how can we absorb the people who are about to witness or about to be a part of the fallout? How can we make sure that we have a structure that allows them to still have their livelihood?
But Dr. Shepard, I hear you answer the question. Well, what's the answer?
I think that it means that we have to do more nation building along on top of one another.
But you understand
there has to be more group economics.
But I'm asking you this question for a reason, and I want you to hear me when I say this. I think we're a day late and $1 short. We should have been had the answer to this, and now it has happened. I don't want to have to create that when you unemployed. I need to be had the answer to that several years ago, knowing what's coming or what possibly could have come, because we had started talking about DEI a long time ago.
Right. I agree. It is late. But it still got to happen, or we're going to wind up with, because
unemployed persons.
What it seems as though is that they are removing the Latino workers who are here illegally, and also trying to pin up people who are here legally, but they have to prove it. Whatever. They're trying to create this reign of terrorism and hem people up. But if they take away the migrant farmers, if they take away the people who are inside of these menial,
everything you gonna go up.
So then, not just how it's gonna go up. Who do they expect to perform that labor?
Me and you.
There, exactly. So what they're doing is creating
Dr. Shepard,
what they're doing.
Go in the fields.
I got honeydew. Okay. I slang some grease. Okay.
About to go in you slinging grease.
But
put your grease in the kitchen
and pay my taxes. Okay. but what I mean though is that if they're eliminating all of these upper level jobs for Black people, they're pushing them to the bottom and saying we're only going to go by merit. And when they say merit, it doesn't mean merit. It just means we're not about to protect equal protections.
All right, folks, we's coming back. We's going out to the fields real quick.
No, not we.
No, he's the Dr. Shepard.
Use.
And they got the tap dancing man on the other side. Show them what you're working with there. That's
Jazz is like, whatever.
You supposed to be stepping for us a long time ago, boy.
But I should also say we should do more agricultural things. So don't.
Lord, there we go.
Don't do that. But
more coming up, folks. Everybody hold tight.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Your Power is On gospel music show is coming on at a new time Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 AM and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens, Dr. Shepard in the building.
What?
And Miss Denise on line one. What you say, Miss Denise?
How you doing, Gerard?
Good, and you?
Dr. Shepard.
All right.
I was trying to keep in mind everything I wanted to say, but first I want to say, Gerard, I think you should be a consultant to situations that take place. For example, I heard how you was consulting about with the snow and what to do. I'm going to leave that right there. I think you need to contact the people who was in charge of making decisions and just consult them.
Let's see how much money I got in my pocket, Miss Denise. I ain't got that much dollars. You gonna take my own?
I agree, Miss Denise. I've been trying to talk him into official public office.
I ain't got but $5.
I wouldn't say the official office because it kind of ties your hands. Because then you gotta owe this one and owe that one. But I think if you just go to the person who you know can do what they need to do and just consult them. Okay, that was it. That was one of them. That's the position I think you should take. They should pay you. So at the same time, I'm thinking about I hear a lot that we're not our ancestors. No, we're not our ancestors because our ancestors, they fought. They fought until they won. Let's just take the Montgomery boycott. They organized. Why are we not organizing when it comes to DEI? Because all these places are DEI, Walmart, DEI. With Walmart, I stopped going to Walmart. I thought I could have Target. Now I don't have Target. And now that's what they're saying. Go in Target and buy only the black products. Well, if the Montgomery bus boycott would have said, just ride in the front of the bus. Don't ride in the back of the bus. We never would win. So I know these black people work hard to get their products into the store. But you know what? Sometimes some people just got to suffer just like to make us get to where we need to get to. So we can't go into Target and just buy black products and then Target's still benefiting, right? They're still benefiting.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is look at our ancestors who organized. They organized. They sat at Dickie Chase restaurant and they organized and they sat all over this country and they organized from sun up to sundown and they came with a plan. What is our plan? These people been had a plan. As you said, Project 2025, that's been a long, long while.
Yep.
When we sleeping, they're working. What are we doing to say, you know what? Okay, I'm a bankrupt you. When you talked about the Cadillac, I sent something on Facebook. We made Cadillac. Black people, they needed us to make the name.
You are correct.
We're powerful. We're very powerful. And it won't take long to bankrupt them because, we start buying the biggest consumers. Well, guess what? Things are going to change. What are we going to do? When are we going to organize?
Right.
Agreed.
Thank you, Mr. Denise. Appreciate you, dear.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Lisa.
Hey, y'all. Good afternoon, everybody. I know y'all going to hang up on me, but I'm going to say as much as I can say before y'all hang up. I'm with you 100%, Jazz. When you say the Democrats are wimpy, I've even told that to people in leadership, like the congressman. They are too wimpy, and I hate that about the Democratic Party. I always want to be nice, always want to be cordial. No, they need to learn how to be gangsters. I also get so disgusted when people talk about the drag on the Democrats. The Democrats ain't doing this, Democrats ain't doing that. And my question is always, well, what have the Republicans done for you? And especially when they talk about they want to come with a third party to get rid of the Democrats. But what has the Republicans done for us? When people say, well, Biden hadn't done anything specifically for black people, everything Biden did not have an exclusive just to white people. And especially like the insulin. I mean, that benefited black folks more than anything. But he didn't do anything for black people. He didn't have a disclaimer with his loan forgiveness only for white people. He didn't do that. And I go back to the thing whereas all the benefits that all people, Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, Libertarian, all of them, all the benefits that all Americans receive and benefit from comes from a Democratic Congress, like Nancy Pelosi Congress, when they had the pandemic and Trump was the president, the Democratic Senate, and a Democratic president. This Republican Democrat, now we're 2 terms with the Republican House. And if it wasn't for Biden to overrule with some of his executive orders, we wouldn't have the little that we got out of this Republican Congress. So when people start thinking about this stuff, they need to really, really, really do their homework. And I have registered more Asians, more people from Yemen, Palestine, than our own people. Whenever I try to register to vote, people who look like us, I don't want to go do jury duty. Then I have to really educate them. And I'm not trying to get in your business, but are you on welfare? You getting food stamps? Well, yes, ma'am. I said, well, okay, but if you don't have a voice in who get in that office, those people who get in office can take those food stamps and those benefits away from you. Oh, I didn't know that. Do you have family members in jail and stuff? Well, yeah. I said, well, do you know that if you can serve on a jury, you can make sure that people who shouldn't go to jail don't go to jail? That's our people that's doing this.
Yep.
And it just bothers me that it's always blamed on the Democrats. Stop that. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I disagree.
Big Sam.
Hey there.
What's going on?
Good evening to you. Good evening to Dr. Shepard.
Good evening.
First and foremost, today there's an organization, the New Orleans United Front, that has a community meeting. The door is open, 5 p.m., Cafe Istanbul, 2372 St. Charles Avenue. Today, I believe they're going to have a representative that the community can ask questions from a deputy chief in NOPD, from someone with the FBI, and they're supposed to have a representative from the state troopers. This is an organization that's doing something. So to the listening people today, you may want to be there. And Dr. Wyatt, WBOK's own Dr. Wyatt, is the moderator. You all were talking about the federal level. We know what's happening at the federal level. We can see and know what's happening at the state level. So I want to get y'all take on this. If you're getting rid of affirmative action, if you're getting rid of all of this stuff and to weed out folk, and it's going to weed out us, shouldn't that make our city politicians more apt to do business with black people?
Why do you think that? Why do you think that?
With a black mayor and a black city council, shouldn't they be trying to give more contracts to minorities here in New Orleans?
Why you think that?
Why I think that, Gerard, and I'm glad you asked. Every time we have an emergency in this city, it seems like the emergency contract goes to Sidney Torres. So is the mayor and the city council making him the Elon Musk of the New Orleans metropolitan area in terms of wealth?
So that, are you
Black
asking
people-
the question, or is that why you think that?
Why I think that is that economics is a part of our problem.
Well, I understand
And
that.
I
I mean,
don't-
I'm asking you the question. I said you asked the question about the contracts, and your example was Sidney Torres, and I'm saying for you to make that statement, I'm saying, is that what you're thinking?
My thinking as a 52-year-old black man, native son of New Orleans, is we're not getting any type of justice economically. Our politicians, in my opinion, are not fighting tooth and nails to ensure that black people are a piece of the economic pie. Another example, the consent decree was bought because of the public. Well, why does not the public have say in the consent decree? It's like it's been hijacked by the brass of the New Orleans Police Department.
Okay, so you said the public brought the consent decree?
If I'm not mistaken, because of complaints, because of mishaps in the NOPD, which complaints have to come from the public, where is the public input?
No, the consent decree was actually brought to the city of New Orleans by the federal government, and a conversation that was between the feds and the mayor at that time, who was Mitch Landrieu. After Mitch Landrieu found out that
why?
was going to let me finish. After he found out how much it was going to cost, then what we ended up with was a mayor who said, nope, we don't need the consent decree. So he tried to get out of it. And the feds at that point in time said, nope, we're going to stay in it, and you're going to pay for it. Now, your question was why that was brought. It was because of the inconsistencies and the lies that were being told about what was going on during Hurricane Katrina. All of those different things from the Glover family, all those things that were being brought forth that happened with what's the dentist's name? His family, and all those folks on Danziger.
Right.
All those things that were being, those horrific incidents that happened that was supposedly done by New Orleans police officers.
Because of Dr. Madison's willingness not to give up, and he had money, once again, because of complaints.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because of complaints. So nevertheless, we're not getting enough for our vote here in this city. And I must say, in my opinion, the black leadership is not holding up their end of the bargain. They'll come to the church and beg you for your vote. They'll come and kiss your baby, but we're not getting nothing. So, and again, as I close, and thank you all for this time,
hold on.
If all this is happening at the federal and the state level, shouldn't the city, which is majority black, shouldn't the leadership be doing something different to ensure some type of wealth?
So let me kind of use a example of what you're talking about. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. My expectations, though, is I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna put you in a trick bag, but I'm expecting you to say to these questions, I don't know. Okay, so let's say that the city of New Orleans has a problem with its street lights. We got lights out in every part of town. Who locally, from the city of New Orleans, has the expertise to fix those lights that has a lighting company? Who is that? Black man, black woman.
At this point, I don't know.
I can tell you. But I would basically be saying, this is the person that we need to have. Well, let me set that person on the side, because I'm gonna talk about Keith Soignier's company in just a minute. Black man, you know Keith Soignier.
Oh man, the Soigners.
All right, so that's somebody we're gonna set to the side. All right, here we go with another one. Who in the city of New Orleans has the expertise under an emergency contract to be able to pick up that trash, other than Sidney Torres? Who? Mr.
It's
Richards.
two black companies.
Right. Okay, so we're going to set them on the side, right? All right. Let's say that you have an issue with snowplows, like we just had, so that we know that we were going to have and hire somebody that had snowplows to move that snow off the streets of New Orleans, an emergency contract that was worth $168,000 a day. Who would be that person?
I should have got it. I could have found a way to get that snow.
I talked about this for a reason, but
I know.
Who would that be? Manpower, snowplows, and I guess the ability to move. Who would that be?
I mean, don't we have a Department of Sanitation? Don't we have a sewage and water board with heavy equipment?
Yes, sir. Yeah, very good. So now I would have taken those employees and said, you're going to make time and a half today because you're going to be working when you're supposed to be off, and equipped myself. So if I got $168,000 to spend on that, you're going to make time and a half today. But I'm going to go and buy those plows to go on those trucks and equip those dump trucks, equip those F-150s or those Plymouth 1500s. I'm going to equip them because a plow only costs somewhere between $4,500 to maybe $7,000 a piece. But if I spent $168,000 to pay another company 14 plows to come in, put them up, feed them, and gas them, then I should be able to get my own folks ready for something like this happens. See, that's where I'm talking about what we're going to do when it does happen. Are you now saying, hey, how long ago did we know that this was coming? Everybody was talking about this a week in advance.
Yeah, but they said there was only going to be some snow.
But I would have been ready to say, if we got some snow or no snow, we would have been prepared. We weren't prepared. They didn't get those plows until the day of.
You know, Gerard and Dr. Shepard, how could an international airport or whatever not have a snow plow machine?
We don't get no snow.
But even still, where's all the money going? All I'm saying is
What
this.
money?
Our city is still majority black, and it's time for black people to get a piece of the pie.
But I think that we
economically.
got to be able to say exactly what you said. We need to, and I'm saying this for a reason, and I walked you through this for a reason. And the reason was, how come we don't have emergency preparedness vendors? Meaning that if we're in a pickle somewhere, I should have some type of order that immediately I can go to those emergency preparedness vendors other than a Torres, other than this person. If I declare something, because the governor declared emergency, we didn't declare no emergency, but if I would have, I should be able to get somebody to fix this. That's one of my emergency preparedness vendors, that I ain't got to go through the whole who gets the lowest bid and all that. I shouldn't have to go through that. I need somebody now, and I got that vendor or vendors that can get this stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
Before and this, I promise this is the last thing, and I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Jefferson Parish does that.
It appears that the game is fixed for Sidney Torres to be the winner. Y'all have a good one.
All right, brother. Talk to you in a minute. Let's go to John. John.
Hey, Gerard and the doctor. How you guys doing?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Hey, man. It's so many things I could talk about, but I'm gonna touch on a few things briefly. You know, we need to stop concerning ourselves about this birthright citizenship thing, because now they're saying, well, when they go to court, the court is gonna rule in favor, but when you analyze it, the 13th, 14th, and 15th especially for birthright citizenship, was only intended for descendants of slaves or freedmen. Because when you read into it, it was talking about the people who were brought here by force, basically, nowhere to send them. Slavery is over, so now you grant them citizenship. Anyone else comes through the naturalization, immigration and naturalization, they're covered under that. Because when it says, people try to interpret that, who's who's in the jurisdiction, who's ever the jurisdiction, there shall be counted as a citizen. Well, if you're not a citizen of the United States, you're a foreign national, then you technically are not under the jurisdiction of the United States. You're under the jurisdiction of the nation in which you originate. And what has happened, they just kind of played loosey-goosey with the 14th Amendment in the 70s and what have you, a lot of liberals and what have you, and they just started including everyone in there. No one really said anything about it. But now you got these legalists that are going back to the letter of the law. And when you go back to the letter of the law, it's only for freedmen, the direct descendants of slaves, because we are the only non-immigrants here. Other than the indigenous and Native Americans, we the only, and they're their own nations on their tribal reservations, so they're a separate nation altogether. But we are the only non-immigrants, and that's who that was addressed, which was crafted to address our very unique and peculiar situation. So when they go to court, they're going to lose, man. They're going to lose. When you start laying it out, when you read before and after how it was crafted, they're going to lose.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Also with the Democrats, and, you know, this is crazy. They outspend Donald Trump by like 3 times as much money, like $1.5 billion.
$1 billion.
He still beat him, and they still ended up with a deficit.
Yep.
I forget how many millions in the hole. So then,
And
you
he
know,
paid the
Kamala Harris
deficit.
on paper,
They said he
she
would.
may be,
I don't know if
she might have been qualified on paper for certain offices that she had, but she just was not qualitatively a good candidate. You know, it was a last minute thing. She didn't know how to connect with people. Then the little flim flam at the last minute. You know, black people have grown much wiser than that. You know, you can't do things at the last minute and think, well, you know, that worked on the generation before us, unfortunately, you know, the old civil rights generation and the greatest generation. But a lot of these younger generation under us, that ain't going to work no more. If you want to land it down all along, don't come at the last minute. You're going to have to you're going to have to give black people tangibles that are specifically to address the issue that specifically deal with freedmen. And that even goes for black immigrants. You're not a part of that. We have to begin to delineate, because that's beginning to create a lot of, when they talk about the DEI hires, well, a lot of the black DEI, when they say, well, we got black people here, yeah, but they want freedmen. They people who came from somewhere else, and that's how they've been skirting around indigenous or freedmen or descendants of slaves or foundational black people.
Okay.
They've been using black immigrants to
I was
skirt
wondering
around
about foundational.
Yeah.
I was
All right.
wondering if your comments were geared to foundational Black Americans.
Yeah.
And we should start using that term of freedmen, which is an official designation. Either one of them, especially freedmen. When you're talking in legal terms, they say, well, look, freedmen. And that puts us in a different category. So they can't say, well, this is what black people know. We're talking about black freedmen.
Okay. All right, John, we got to take our break, brother. Appreciate you much, man. Good information. All right, talk to you in a minute. All right, more coming up, y'all. We got to take a break.
Start your day off right.
Just getting your day started.
Early morning gospel on WBOK 1230 AM.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the whole water stove, Pastor David Impartian Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Hello, I am Bishop Fred A. Caldwell Sr., host of the Know Your Bible International radio broadcast, which is heard here on WBOK 1230 a.m. each Sunday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So join me here for a blessing, won't you?
This is the coach, Garrett Sasheray. The Sports Report is coming up next on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
Then why he was back for me.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Coming up, the Sports Report is coming up at the top of the hour. Coach has the councilman, Oliver Thomas, coming in. Maybe they're going to talk about my girl, too, over at LSU. You heard what happened, huh?
No.
The basketball player for LSU, girls team?
No.
What's her name? Sashay, Ashe. What's her name? But she's the star. She's the
star
point
player.
guard. And she was playing the South Carolina Gamecocks. The team was, and her father got killed years ago.
Oh, okay.
But he was a rapper.
Okay.
And the DJ that the Gamecocks employed, they had kept playing her father's old song.
Wow.
Yeah, they apologizing to her today, but I mean that was terrible.
That is horrific.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
What's going on, man?
You the man.
What's going on, Dr. Shepard?
Hey, what's going on, Ron?
I'm chilling. First shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the People's Political Party. Man, that's some heavy news right there, man. But sending nothing but love and blessings to that little sister, man. But as I listen to the show throughout the day, I still keep on hearing people constantly putting our destiny in other people's hands, and we constantly expecting a different result. These people have shown us time and time again, no matter Democrat or Republican, because remember, we had a Democratic governor who lied to Ms. Moan and said how Ronald Green was killed, and come to find out the brother was basically assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to stop sitting back waiting on other people just to wake up and just say, you know what, I done seen the light. Let me start treating black people right. Look, we got to take our destiny in our own hands, because while we out here constantly surviving, other people is out here living. And if you understand it too, you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the same government created a 6-point plan to destroy black organizations and black leaders. Let me repeat that. This government created a 6-point plan to destroy black organizations and black leadership. So, I mean, we still going, the game don't change, only the characters. So we have all the knowledge, but we own no institutions. Everything that we need for our basic needs of living or survival, we got to go to the enemy. We got to go to them and say, we send our kids to their schools. We want to buy a house or a car, we got to go to their banks and beg them for a loan. We want a job, we got to go to them and ask and beg them for a job. When we going to get it into our heads that we need to start doing for ourselves?
Right.
Self-determination is the only way out of our current solution, period. We done tried the Democratic Party. We done tried the Republican Party. We done tried the Independent. We done tried the mayor, the councilman, councilwoman. None of that is working, still to this day. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that voting not to vote, but what I'm saying is that we got to try other ways to get out of our current situation. And to me, what I see, the only way out of our current situation is self-determination, period. Because, again, ain't nobody coming to save us but us. All right, y'all.
Thank you for that.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah,
That's
right.
exactly what I was saying.
Yes, indeed.
I said Black Nation building. That's exactly what we need.
Mr. Harold.
Yeah, I think Jazz is discriminating against me because I've been holding so long.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
We so sorry, Mr.
You know,
Harold.
you the first one to call in and tell everybody. You know, last time you looked, you might be black, so
Yeah.
you might want to start telling them
so
that.
anyway, if it's okay for me to say, life has been good for me and it's good today. I was 7 years old when the Holocaust happened, and I have always heard that what happened to black people was far, far, far more than what happened to the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm looking at the clock. What do you got? 30 seconds.
All right, we'll give you 30 seconds more. But go ahead.
My wife, who's from Louisiana, told me that her great-grandfather, his name was Floyd Washington, was from Louisiana, and he was one of the Buffalo soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, that aircraft, I'm 101st Airborne.
Right.
And that aircraft, you said it was a C-140, and I think it was a C-130. Okay. One of your producers is here, and Wick. We had a conversation last night, and he invited me to a dinner party, football. I'm originally from Kansas City, and I don't know much about football, only it doesn't look like a basketball. So anyway, I understand that 18% of the voters that voted for that creep in the White House were black, okay? Black people are confused about who they are, and so-called white people feel inferior to black people. And like the caller a while ago said, you make the determination for yourself. Now, don't get too much out of shape about what's going on now. That idiot is like a train that's coming to a wreck. The crap that he's doing, and they speak in code. He said he was a racist. He's always been a racist, and they use a language that a lot of black people don't understand.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say to you is that, like the other caller said, is self-determination.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to organize. I'll say we, but not me. We don't work together. We envy each other, and we're jealous of each other. And that's what we do with most of our energy.
Yep.
So,
there you go.
Life is good. You all have a good evening.
You do the
I
same.
appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
You're better than you know.
All right,
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Mr. Harold. I agree with what he said.
All right, we out of time. So, you on there waving to yourself.
It was good, G.
You don't want me to look at you?
Come on, don't say that. Don't start.
Oh yeah, we got to do more with this one. This one was something too. We didn't get to everybody today.
No, and I still got more to say.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll revisit it again.
All right, I'll be back.
Dr. Shepard, always good. Thank you, dear.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you.
All right, y'all. Coming up, the Sports Report is next. Oliver Thomas is Coach's guest today, so make sure you check out the Councilman. They're next, right here on WBOK.